Page 36, the old gray owl. At the top of the page, they introduce you to a thing used in music called, well, they're calling it an upbeat. It has other names. It could be called a pickup measure, pickup beat. It could be called a partial measure, an incomplete measure, an anacrusis. It's got all kinds. It doesn't matter what you call it. The point is, you're not coming in on beat one. You're coming in on some other beat. And right now, they're just showing you one beat as a pickup. There could be more than one. Anything less than a full measure, they're pickup beats. Or, it's a partial measure. Well, that's interesting because in music theory, according to the time signature, every measure has to have so many beats in it. Here it's in 4/4 time. That means every measure has to have 4 beats in it. Well, if you have a pickup measure that's got 1 beat, what's going on? There has to be 3 beats someplace else to have a full measure, to have a full 4 counts. And what they typically do is at the end of the piece, they'll take that measure, the last measure of the piece, and they'll chop it, they'll split it. And the end of that measure is at the beginning. So here, it's a little tricky because they've added an ending. Those last little lines there, they call it an ending. Forget that right now. Just pretend that's not there. Covered up, not there. If you look at the end of the second line, that measure has 3 beats in it. And that's what this is. It's the end of that measure. So you're coming in on beat 4. Doesn't really matter where the rest of the beats are, whatever. The point is you're not coming in on beat 1, you're coming in on some other beat. Just leave it at that for now. Now if you look at the last line down there, you'll see it has 1 beat in the first measure of it, but the last measure of it has 3 beats in it too. So altogether it comes out as 4 beats per measure. In theory it does. When you're playing it, you just play it, just count it. So we have treble and bass clef. There's no sharps or flats, so we're in C position here. That's not going to stay. I mean, you can be in C major and not be in C position, but right now we're in C position. It's in C major. Got some sharps in it, and okay. Then at the end of the second line, there's a repeat sign. You're going to go back to the first and play that again. It has an ending. There's another word for that. It's called coda. It's simply a tag on the end of a piece. The piece ends at the end of the second line. It's over there. But a lot of music, they stick a coda. It's like an afterthought, a tail, a tag on the end of it. Now some music, the coda is actually an important part of the music. You can't just leave it off. But in most music, you can leave the coda off and be just fine. You wouldn't notice it was gone. Here, you could do that. You could end this at the end of the second line. You're fine. However, we'll do the coda. It's there. Why not? Or the ending, as they call it. Let's take it one hand at a time. Make sure we got the notes and the rhythms and all that. It's mostly quarter notes. Your right hand, you're in C, and you're coming in on beat 4. So it's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got an E flat there. Just set middle finger. That's an E natural there because it's in a different measure. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. About that there. And the ending at the bottom, you have a C and an F sharp together. It's called a tritone. I won't get into it. It's supposed to sound edgy. You have a rest, 1 beat rest, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, off. Like so. And in case you're wondering, I say off at the end of these. And to play with me, when we get to the end, I say off. The idea is a beat lasts until the next beat starts. Does it make any sense at all? Let's say at the ending, yeah, we got half notes. Well, the first half note lasts 2 counts. And it ends when the 3rd count starts. So it's 1, 2, and then it ends. Well, you have another note there on beat 3, so we play another note. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it ends on beat 4 because it only lasts 2 counts. So then it comes up, but we have another note on beat 1 of the next measure, so we play again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. but then at the end, there's no more notes. So it's that last measure, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, except 4 isn't there. Happens to be up above, I don't want there. The point is, there's no other beat, there's no more numbers coming, so instead I say off. Because if I don't do it, you'll only hold it down for 2 counts. You'll go 1, 2, 3, and you'll let up on beat 3. Thinking, I held it for 3 counts, because I let up on 3. No, you gotta keep it down through beat 3 and let up on the next beat. So I say off on all of these videos to do that. In case you hadn't figured it out yet. Left hand. Well, here, see, it says 1, 2, 3, rest. And remember, a dotted half note's the same as 3/4 notes. Just memorize that. So here it's going to get 3 counts. And you're just doing that. And then a whole note, that gets 4 counts. And then the last measure, the first line, 1, 2, 3, rest. Right? Okay. Put the hands together. Here. So you got to lift up here. That last note's by itself. Again. Right there. The last 2 measures, the first line, I'm holding that one down 4 counts. Because the others I had a rest. And then the last measure is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4. So get where you can play the hands together, and then go back through it and get rid of any hesitations you have. It has to be a steady beat. You can go slow, but it's got to be a steady beat. Once you can do that, then we can put in this phrasing, these slurred lines they've got here. Because it's kind of weird. They're slurs, they're not really phrases, but it's here. They're slurring these notes. And then they lift up and do it again. And then they lift up and do it again. So you're lifting up between, it's like taking a breath. But the beat has to be a steady beat. So it's... like so. So put in the phrasing. The left hand, you doesn't have anything really. You just connect everything except for the rest is all. I mean, they slur the last 2 notes in each line. You don't need a slur there, but it doesn't hurt anything. Just connect them, that's fine. Then dynamics, well, 2 sets of words, and there's dynamic for each set. So the first time it's MF, or mezzo forte, or moderately loud. That's the melody. Whatever you think moderately loud is, sort of loud. Everything else has to be in the background. Everything else is accompaniment. So forth. Then when you repeat it on the second time, now it's moderately soft. MP, mezzo piano, that's the melody. There's not a lot of difference between moderately loud and moderately soft. You just come down a little bit. You're still in the middle area, but now you're on the soft side of the middle. And the left has to be very soft. So forth. So you add the dynamics. Now at the end, the last line, you have that hairpin coming down. You see that little arrow between the stabs? That means diminuendo, or gets softer. We're at moderately soft already. What you're going to do is die away to soft, I guess. So each of these is going to get just a hair softer, just a hair softer. You can practice that over time. But I don't know why they're getting softer. The owl's going away or something. I'm not sure what the hoot 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 is for, but okay. Want to sing? That's up to you. I ain't singing. Then we add the pedal. Don't need pedal, but okay. They're doing it on the hoots. Go give it a hoot. Going to push the pedal down right after I play the notes. And I'm going to hold it down until the end, and I'm going to lift the pedal in the hands at the same time. At the end of 3 beats. And that's the pedal. That's all. We're using the pedal here more as an effect. We want to bring out the hoots for the owl. That's all. Otherwise, you don't need pedal. Again, if you're going to pedal, it's best to understand, why am I pedaling this? Why is the pedal needed here? Because it is needed for various reasons, and we'll learn what those are over time. So you go ahead and learn it. And then come back and do the play with me. Let's check the notes and the rhythms and all that. I'm not going to do any dynamics, but we will do the repeat and all that. So I'll give us 3 counts because we come in on beat 4. Now have your foot on the pedal at the beginning of this. If you're going to use pedal at all in a piece, you have your foot on the pedal for the whole piece. Don't be putting your foot on the pedal and taking it off and putting it on, taking it. There's no dancing going on here. You put it on the pedal and leave it there if you're going to use it at all. Now, if there's no pedal at all in the piece, then you can leave your foot off the pedal. That's fine too. 1, ready, go. Repeat. One, two, three, rest.